here at Nevada Brew Works. Nevada Brew Works at Boca Park, 2 locations, Art District and Boca Parks. But you want to come up here to Boca Park, out here to Boca Park, here. It's not really out here for me because I live around the corner in, as I call it, East Summerlin. Willie Ramirez is with us here at Nevada Brew Works. We got a loaded show. NFL and Raiders schedule comes out later on. A lot of the leaks have the Raiders home slate set, so we'll get into that in a little bit. Recap the Aces from last night. They got a big win against the CT Sun. But much to get to here as we intro the Cofield beer. It is available now. Happy hour goes until 5 o'clock, Monday to Friday. They've also got some Golden Knights specials tonight, as they've got half-price wings on the 12 wings and also $5 on their Golden Ale in honor of the Golden Knights. So that's coming up during the game. But up until 5 o'clock, happy hour specials. We'll give those to you, and you do get a chance to try my beer, the Spring Zest Pils, which I haven't tried yet. I actually have to get the server to bring me one up here. Don't tell the FCC. It'll be a violation. What's going on, Willie?
Well, I'm happy for you because
I've arrived.
It's been years that, we talk about Adam had some a lobster mac and cheese at one establishment. Arash Markazi has sandwiches all over the world. Finally, Steve Cofield has something in his name other than a radio show in a local establishment. Well deserved. Congratulations. I saw, by the way, if you haven't seen, Steve actually had part in his hand in making it, which it's available on ESPN Las Vegas Instagram. I shared the reel today, and it said, "Hey, we'll be out at the Nevada Brew Works." So I was very impressed with your craftsmanship.
Is that what that was?
I don't know. I'm trying to help you out here, bro. Just roll with it.
Yeah, please. Don't expect to be impressed with the hard work I did. Luckily, we have a very good person behind the scenes and on air in Brandy Flores. We shot a lot of video of me making the beer, but I really struggled with the hops pull.
Yes.
The owner yelled at me. He's like, "All right, let's go. Pick it up. We gotta get the beer going." Then I had to twist on a hose, and I was like, "Listen, just put the whole thing there, and I got to twist like twice, because if I got to put the hose on and then the bracket, I was out, and she sped that up. I was like, oh, man, I look really good there."
Now you know what it's like when you're a beginner on this show and you have you pushing people. Let's go. Come on. Let's go.
Maybe. You're right. Maybe I need to be a little more patient. I should be more patient.
It's either that or blood pressure medicine.
Well, I'm taking it. Especially considering the fact, I knew coming in to make the beer, the Spring Zest Pils.
Yeah.
And you can get it at both spots, Arts District, but we want you today to come out to Boca Park. I know from my own years of inability to do anything that, I wasn't going to be really making the beer. My biggest fear was there is a point where I'm pulling the hops out. It goes into a bucket, and then I got to pour them into a boiling cauldron. And at that point, I had Willy Wonka in my head. Was it Violet Beauregard someone fell in, or the fat kid fell in the river of chocolate? I was going to be the fat kid who fell into the boiling cauldron of beer.
Lovely,
but I made it,
and it really would have been Cofield beer.
Yes, that would have been very bitter tasting. Oh, right, not an IPA, natural bitter taste. All right, Willie. So let's get into what's going on around the NFL, because a lot of the leaks are out. We'll do that in a couple of minutes. Also want to get you ready for what's going on tonight in VGK. So let's set up the Game 6 tonight in the series. No Braden McNabb. Give me your judgment on first the major call and then a suspension following.
The misconduct and the ejection I understand, because you're supposed to have discretion with that last second. You're supposed to have an internal clock. The thing is, we're not talking about a vindictive player. We're not talking about a Tom Wilson. We're not talking about an Evander Kane. We're not talking about somebody who has a history of doing this. We're talking about one of the most respectable players. Talking about a guy who just had his Ironman streak stopped earlier this season. This is just a genuine guy. So I thought they may take it in consideration, knowing that his momentum carried him. But the hit itself, the way that the head hit, the player safety division decided that a suspension was warranted. So the Golden Knights will not only be without Braden McNabb suspended, but they'll also be without Mark Stone and Jeremy Lauzon. Stone's out for his third straight game with a lower body injury. Lauzon still hasn't played in the second round with an upper body ailment. So I don't know which is worse, is playing without Stone or playing without McNabb. They were already without Stone, and I will say this for them: the emergence of Pavel Dorofeyev and Tomas Hertl, who was going through a tremendous scoring drought this season, and then in the playoffs, dating back to last playoffs. So two different sorts of droughts. The emergence of guys who weren't performing, and there aren't their big names. I mean, Dorofeyev's a big name, but when you think about this team with Eichel and Marner for a minute, Marner leading the playoffs with points, and we're going to get into that later in the show. I think they've become used to it. I think McNabb is the one where you have to worry. Now, Caden Korczak will draw into the lineup, but I like Caden Korczak's game, and I like his he's a young guy, and I think that he plays with a lot of vigor, if you will, when he gets his chance. And he's going to play with Ben Hutton. So, and when you got a new bench boss who's as fiery and temperamental and sort of truculent as John Tortorella, Korczak's going to feel the pressure. So I think that they all feel the pressure, and I think that they feel a little bit of life after letting the Ducks tie the game 2-2 late in the third and then winning in overtime the way that they did. They're going to play with the sense of urgency. I think they have the upper hand and the advantage in terms of momentum. It's just you're playing in a very rowdy arena. We spoke with Eric Stevens, beat writer for The Athletic, the other day, and what that environment's like. But this is an experienced bunch that has Stanley Cup experience and playoff experience. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with the absences. But I think right now it's a question of what do we do without McNabb, because they've been used to playing without Stone.
What do you think John Tortorella would say if in front of him you called him John Tortella, as you just did? Slip of the tongue. You know how he can be. I like that you already stole the word from me. Truculent. I stole it, of course, from Cosell, who used it on Ali.
What'd you say? There's no one here named Tortella.
Yeah.
Can exactly. You say who are you talking
We're going to get to Johnny T in a little bit because he had it out with Adam Hill last night, and on Cofield and Company, we're a little bit protective. But let me tell you, I would assume that Tortella would get angry if you called him that. Maybe not as angry as I was this morning when, once again, we find out this is every effing season in the NFL with the schedule release that we're going to be given a strong dose of real gross medicine. And you know what it's called? The New York Giants. Now, I expect the Giants to be decent. The books are saying over-under of 7.5. So that's not a great team. Willie, we are getting the New York Giants 4 times. 4 times on primetime. I tell you, we got someone downstairs Willie's looking for. 4 times the Giants. Now, I don't know if they're going to be good. And honestly, I don't want to hear about the New York market. The NFL programs to the nation. Thank you, Mateo. We don't need the Giants in what could be another iffy season. And by the way, the news just came out that Malik Neighbors, their star receiver, got another knee surgery about 2 weeks ago. So now we kind of know what the rationale was of getting more receiver help in the draft for New York. And the reason I take this personal is because here in Vegas, and the Raiders got to do their part as well. But here in Vegas, we had to pay the heftiest entry fee ever to get into the NFL. We as a state, a public, a county, put up $750 million. By the time all the roads are all fixed, we're going beyond $1 billion to buy into the NFL. We need primetime games. That is part of the entry price. In a way, the NFL provides a national platform for us, like a marketing platform. We need all those Vegas images on national standalone TV spots. I'm telling you, when this schedule comes out, if the Raiders are on like with the number 1 pick, national champion, Heisman, if the Raiders are on friggin' one time on primetime, I am going to blow my lid. Nothing's going to happen. It's just going to be me again, losing it. The Giants. Can we stop at the Giants? And I'll give you the other team that's on. They're on like 5 standalone with Drew Aller or Macy Rudolph, or who's the other guy? Will Howard. I don't know if Rodgers is coming back. The Steelers are on like 5 standalone primetime spots. They better come through. We better get at least 3. Seriously.
I get it. I don't understand.
I wish I knew people in town with the crooked noses. I do. But right now, this is why I want to go back to the
still
70s.
here.
I want to go back to the 70s and 80s of Vegas and tell them or have them call Goodell.
You'd be on every week.
Yeah. Right?
Excuse me, what?
Yeah.
We're not what?
Yeah. Oh, I can't wait until
Have him come over and talk to me.
The rage ensues. Exactly. Have him come over. Come here, Raj.
Don't worry about it. I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
Go see the
I don't get it. I honestly don't get it.
Giants
we're still looking at that market. You know, we think New York, or I'm assuming this is what they're looking at. Like it's the New York market. It's big. It's New York, right? And I mean, Steve, when we were growing up in the Cosell, Danny, Don, Frank Giver days back then, I think the record was the Dolphins and the Raiders had appeared the most, and then the Cowboys, right? In a sense, the Raiders are still a trademark logo. That's one of the few logos, like little tweaks here and there to the crest, but in a sense, it's still this is the Raiders, where it's a foundation of the NFL. And now that it's in Las Vegas, and with everything that's coming here, to be able to promote and say, you're right, this has now become a primetime hotbed where it should be on no matter what. Now you add Mendoza, I'm right there with you.
Here's the great thing about that rant. It's so preemptive. Most of the home schedule, I think, has been leaked accurately for the Raiders. We could be on the air right now screaming about this and not knowing the Raiders have 5 standalone games. And listen, after 5 o'clock, we could find out that the NFL did Vegas right.
But we'll take credit for it.
But right now, we put the pressure on. You're right. They heard it. They're watching the live feed right now on YouTube and Facebook and Twitter, and they were like, "Wow, we better listen to Cofield and Willie, otherwise the guys with crooked noses are coming after us." Nevada Brew Works here at Boca Park on this Thursday. My beer is out. It is the Spring Zest Pils. I have great specials on that. 2 to 5 every day with the happy hour Monday to Friday, and then tonight $5 beer on the Golden Ale for the Golden Knights, and also half price on the 12 wings. Great brick oven pizza, dynamite burgers. Willie scarfed down a burger earlier and some onion rings, so he liked that. Get on down here, Boca Park. Nevada Brew Works just starting off. Cofield and Company on a Thursday.
Got something to say? Hit us up on the Bay Law text line, 702-364-1100. Brought to you by Bay Law Injury Attorneys. Winning is no accident.
Traffic is brought to you by Paul Pata Law. It's not about the injury, it's about the recovery.
Tonight, do the EDC parade from 6:30 to 9 p.m. Sahara Avenue and Las Vegas Boulevard. That intersection will be closed. Also from 6 p.m. until midnight, Las Vegas Boulevard in both directions closed between Gentine Boulevard and Sahara.
Traffic was brought to you by Paul Pata Law, your personal recovery attorneys.
Hi, this is Paul Pata from Paul Pata Law. If you've been injured in a motorcycle accident, you need an attorney that understands the unique challenges that a motorcycle accident can create. At Paul Pata Law, we'll guide you through your journey of recovery. Check us out at paulpatalaw.com.
Out there in the West, they don't mess around. At Godden Ford, right off the 215 in Rainbow, they've got the ride that's built to haul. This May, drive home in a new Ford and unlock exclusive employee pricing on favorites like the Ford F-150. Ford Explorer, Ford Escape, and Ford Bronco Sport, giving every customer excited and running west since 1922.
Weddings come with a lot to plan. Food doesn't have to be one of them. Because when the moment matters, the food should deliver. Port of Subs Catering makes it easy with fresh, crowd-pleasing options for any gathering. Simple, flexible, and ready when you are. Order now at portofsubs.com. Port of Subs for every celebration.
Get ready, Vegas. Young the Giant is taking over Pearl Concert Theater on Sunday, May 24th. And this show is going to light up your whole night with massive anthems, soaring vocals, and a live performance that turns every moment into a rush. Young the Giant is bringing all the energy you've been waiting for. Don't sleep on this one. Tickets are moving fast. Grab yours now at palms.com. Young the Giant, May 24th, Pearl Concert Theater. And yes, parking is always free.
The Golden Circle Sports Bar inside Treasure Island Hotel and Casino is the best place to watch games on the Strip. There's a huge video wall and over 55 plus screens throughout the bar. Place your sports bets at the new STN Sportsbook. The menu with the Golden Circle Burger, the Linebacker Bison Burger, Philly Cheesesteak, the Polish Sausage, and so much more is dynamite. The Golden Circle Sports Bar's happy hour is amazing with $5 draft beers every day from 10 a to 6 p. Treasure Island, the Vegas destination for those seeking a contemporary resort experience with an ideal location on the Las Vegas Strip. And remember, parking is always free.
Right now in Clark County, over 300 young people are on the community waitlist waiting for a safe place to sleep. Shannon West Homeless Center, part of Help for Southern Nevada, is a 140-bed shelter providing housing, meals, education and employment support, and a path to stability for youth ages 18 to 24. You can help reduce the weight and change your life. Donate now at helpsonv.org. That's helpsonv.org. This message is sponsored by Help of Southern Nevada, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and the station.
The 2026 NBA Summer League. That's right, NBA fans. Here's your chance to show how much you want NBA basketball in Las Vegas by simply showing up and showing out on July 9th through the 19th at the NBA Summer League, going down to Thomas Mack Center and Pavilion. With the star-studded draft on tap and the brightest stars in the house, it's a no-brainer. General admission, reserved courtside, and experience tickets on sale now. This is the most important summer league ever. So let's go, Vegas. Visit NBAevents.com, UNLVtickets.com. Ticketing fees apply.
Hey, Las Vegas, are you tired of plumbing prices that break the bank? At 365 Plumbing, we're bringing fair pricing back. Family owned and operated, we treat your home like it's our own. For your everyday plumbing needs, we're here 365 days a year, rain or shine, day or night. Extend the life of your water heater right now. For a limited time, take advantage of our water heater flush special for only $26. Visit us at 365plumbingnv.com. 365 Plumbing, because where the water flows, 365 Plumbing goes.
Hey, it's Chris Fox with Simply Vegas Real Estate. If you're buying, selling, investing, or you have a property in distress and you need to sell fast, call me 702-419-4346. 702-419-4346. Or at foxsellsvegas.com. Book 100960.
Worried about your car payment? Don't be. Drive happy with a Westar Credit Union auto loan. Whether you are ready for something new or want to refinance your current ride, we've got you with affordable payments. Picture yourself behind the wheel, windows down, music up, on the road to what matters most. Apply today at westar.org or stop by your nearest branch. All loans are subject to approval. Terms and conditions apply. Must be a member to borrow. Membership requires a savings account with a minimum balance.
An accident isn't just an accident. It's lost time, lost wages, in a fight you didn't choose. At DeCastro Verde Law, we deliver serious firepower for serious injuries.
Together we win.
BrothersWin.com.
This is JT for Finley Volvo Las Vegas. If you're looking for an incredible lease, it's a 2026 Volvo XC60 B5, only $499 a month, 7,500 miles per year, $48.29 due at the lease signing, and the MSRP is $51,095. Those deals are waiting for you right 5 seconds. Oh, Finley Volvo Las Vegas.
Now back to Cofield and Company on ESPN Las Vegas.
All right, back here in Nevada Brew Works on this Thursday. The Cofield Spring Zest Pills is out. Willie Ramirez across the way. We're live here in Boca Park. Let's get into a little women's basketball. Aces last night with a big win, Willie.
Big win. A much needed win, as we talked about on Monday. And joining us right now, national writer for the Associated Press, Doug Feinberg. Doug, thanks for joining us. How are you, buddy?
Always a pleasure. Willie, doing pretty well. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. We're catching you before you head out to Connecticut. Of course, man, talk about the headlines over this first week, Doug. I mean, Angel Reese with a couple of double-doubles. Kennedy Carter is favored to win the Sixth Player of the Year award already. Caitlin Clark is, doing Caitlin Clark types of things. I saw your story about the referees stepping things up for physicality. Both expansion teams already have a win. What is the biggest storyline? What's the big headline? Or, hey, the WNBA is back.
I think that last one is the headline. I mean, you mentioned some really good storylines right there and some great things that happened the first week. The fact that we're actually playing basketball, which some people thought about a month and a half, 2 months ago was not going to happen on time, that we're actually playing WNBA basketball now, that's the biggest headline. But the stuff are really, really good too.
out of the two expansion teams, who has, if you've had a chance to watch, I know that I've had higher expectations for Toronto due to the fact that it's Sandy Brondello that's coaching, but who's impressed you most with what they put on the floor?
Well, I mean, Portland, did they beat New York? And yes, it's a shorthanded New York. They're missing Sabrina Ionescu. They're missing Satu Sabli. They're missing Leonie Fibish. But they beat a team that's contending for a title. And that to me is an extra little check mark for them. They're a tough place to play. They have a huge home court advantage. The fans they have there, loud. They did a great job of marketing. I mean, Portland has done a tremendous job early in the season, and I think they're going to be talented because of the extra six-man, so to speak, with the home fans. Nothing against Toronto. Toronto's done a good job as well. Sandy Brondello's built a pretty good team there with a great backcourt and Mabry and Sykes. They're going to be competitive, I think. But I give the nod to Portland just because of what they have with the home court advantage of those fans.
All right, before we bring it back here to Las Vegas and talk about the Aces' latest MVP candidate, Kennedy Carter, the WNBA Board of Governors, they approved the sale of the relocation of the Sun to the Rockets. I'm wondering how much of that storyline is going to provide sort of a, I don't know, maybe a little bit of a distraction. Hey, this is our last year here. Is there much to play? I mean, there's always something to play for, but is it a hindrance? Is it too much of a topic?
I think it's not as much a distraction as it would have been if this was just all season. They don't know what's going to happen to them. They know this is the last year in Connecticut. They know they're moving to Houston next year, so that sort of takes some of that distraction out. So people are going to be asking them, hey, what's your future hold? Where are you going to be next year? What's going to go on? So that helps a little bit. And players are under contract, so they sort of kind of know where they're definitely going to be next year. Maybe the front office, maybe the coach may be different that way. But I think people should honor the Sun for what they did for the last 20-plus years there and give the fans should come out, support the team, and do what they can to give them at least a good send-off when the season's over. Because, listen, they're probably not the most competitive team on the court this year. If they make the playoffs, that'd be a huge plus for them. I'm not counting on that. So honor them when they can and do what you can to recognize that the 20-plus great years they gave you in Connecticut.
Yeah, 100%. Especially, I mean, most recently, especially for Vegas fans, you know, that watched last night and then will watch again when they play again tomorrow, is the fact that, you know, this was a team that faced Vegas in the finals. This was a team that once had Alyssa Thomas and had Jonquel Jones and an MVP, had DeWanna Bonner, Kurt Miller. I mean, they did some great things. So I agree with you there. You know, they did bring some excitement to that area, and now they're going to go to an old stomping grounds of the WNBA. We're speaking with Doug Feinberg, women's basketball writer, national writer for WNBA. College basketball does a great job, of course. All right, let's talk about Las Vegas. They opened the season, of course, getting routed by Phoenix. Asia's not going to use it as an excuse. Nobody really is, but nonetheless, the ring ceremony, a big build-up, T-Mobile, long off season, boom, Phoenix comes in with a vengeance, smacks them. But they played like we expect them to play in LA and now Connecticut. What have you been impressed most with, not without using the name A'ja Wilson, Chelsea Gray, or Jackie Young?
I mean, let's just step back for 1 second. They were set up for that game in a sense. Like, you're playing the team you beat in the finals. They have to watch it. You get your rings, have the banner ceremony. You don't think there was an extra chip on Phoenix's shoulder that first night? Like, we're going to go out and prove something here. So I sort of throw that game out. Vegas has looked like Vegas should this first couple games. Beating LA and LA is a nice win. Obviously, Connecticut is not what they were when they played in the finals a couple years ago. But I'm impressed. I mean, listen, you mentioned her. Kennedy Carter's had a great start to her season. She fits in well there. There's enough veteran voices to sort of keep her in check if needed. Yeah. And obviously, Becky Hammon's one of the best coaches in the game. So that pickup is really going to help them, I think, supercharge that second unit. A player who can score, take some of the pressure off A'ja Wilson or Jewel Lloyd or Jackie Young to score. And I just think that's a great move by Vegas to make them even more competitive to a team that's won, 3 of the last 4 titles?
Doug Feinberg with us from AP, covers the WNBA. Doug, were you surprised that the Aces took a chance on Kennedy Carter? I was out at Media Day, and there I was surprised how few people cared that they had signed her in – considering her background. She didn't play in the WNBA last year. She played in Mexico and China. She blew up, but there's a reason she wasn't in the WNBA. There's a reason that she's bounced from team to team to team. It was a bold move, and I felt like people were treating it like a non-topic. Now, it's still to be determined what happens, but let's go back to the beginning. Were you surprised that the Aces were like, you know what, we're going to take a chance on her?
You know, of all the teams in the league, I would say they were the best positioned team to do it because they have such a great culture there. They have such veteran leadership that I think it doesn't work out, they can get rid of her. It's not the end of the world. But the ceiling for her was so much greater than the floor could have been, that why not take a chance at that? And so far, it's looked great for the first couple games. And again, having that veteran leadership with an Asia Wilson, Chelsea Gray, Jackie Young, Jewel Lloyd, and having Becky Hammond as the one in charge, that they're not going to put up with anything, so to speak.
Think that the same way we saw with Nalissa last year, where everybody was like, oh boy, why are we taking a chance on her, man? But I don't think people knew the actual, the good side, I guess, if you will, the side that we didn't see of a Nalissa Smith. And I think that could be the same could be said here, because you're not coming in on walking on eggshells as the team and hoping that they don't do anything wrong. We're embracing. We want you to be who you are. Just fit in and fit in with the culture. And I think that's a good thing. The two signings that I think that I've been impressed with, obviously, is Brianna Turner, a defensive wizard, but Stephanie Talbot has been impressive since the preseason with this team.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Talbot's like a Swiss Army knife. She plays really good defense. She can shoot the three, gets to the basket, pass pretty well, fits in, again, to a really good system, and it will do great things. And Breezy Turner wants that. So two great additions for Vegas for getting richer with a really good team getting even better.
All right, a couple minutes left here. Doug Feinberg with the AP. Doug, I don't think your first set of rankings have come out. I did see some that have come out with, I believe, who was on top? Was it New York on top before the loss, and then Golden State? Can Golden State sustain this? Are they as good as we're seeing early on?
Well, our preseason rankings did come out like May 6th or something, and Vegas was 1, New York was 2. Obviously, that will have changed when the new rankings come out this Monday.
Right.
But I think Golden State is sort of playing at the top of their level right now. Let's see when they start playing some of the more competitive teams in the league where they stand. I think they'll have a good run. They'll probably make the playoffs again. Adding Gabby Williams is a great addition for them. I think Golden State is good. I would put Indiana up there. Obviously, I would think probably top 3 or 4. Atlanta put up there top 3 or 4. Dallas, I think, is look good. Those might be your top 5 teams or so, with Vegas, New York, Atlanta, Indiana, Dallas, and Golden State might be 6 when all said and done, I think. But it's real early. I mean, obviously, a lot can happen in the next 3 months.
All right, last one for you. Got about 45 seconds left here, Doug. I saw the GMs voted. If you're going to start a franchise, who would it be? 1 was Paige Beckers, 2 was Asia Wilson, 3 was Caitlin Clark. My quick thought on this is this. If I'm going to start one with the thought of making money, I'm getting Caitlin Clark. If I want to win right now with greatness, I'm getting Asia Wilson. If I want to build with the future, who I think is the overall best player for future, I'm building with Paige Beckers. Your thoughts?
I think you hit the nail on the head there. I think I don't disagree with any of the 3 things you said.
There you go. Doug Feinberg, have a safe trip, my friend. Enjoy Connecticut, and I will talk to you, I'm sure, very soon.
Thanks, guys.
There he is, Doug Feinberg. Last minute grab. Good job by Willie grabbing him as the Aces now on a road trip with the back end of a 2-game set at Mohegan Sun, right? Still playing at Mohegan Sun and soon to be in H-Town. The Houston move's happening next year.
Yes.
What happened to the Boston move? Just bad reporting?
No,
jump the gun?
No,
or did the league tell them, you're not going to Boston?
No, I think they wanted it just fizzled, and Houston made – I mean, let's bring back the Comets, right? The thought of the Comets, an original franchise and championship team. And so I like the move to Houston better than Boston.
Schedule release in the NFL after 5 o'clock coming up. We'll get to what's been leaked. If it's accurate or not, I don't know. We'll find out after 5 o'clock. But at least the home slate, we're finding out a little about the home slate for the Raiders. We'll react.
Just because I'm this voice you hear on your speaker doesn't mean I have all the answers. You can't shake me like a magic 8-ball and get the pressing answers to your questions. Although if you did, I might answer, thank you for asking. So I can't tell you if there will be a Game 7 between the Vegas Golden Knights and the Anaheim Ducks at the Fortress on Saturday. But what I can let you know is there will be a Game 6 in Anaheim as the Knights and the Ducks go at it again on the ice. Pre-game starts at 5:30 on Thursday on Fox Sports Las Vegas.
Sign up today for a new William Hill Nevada mobile sports account, and you can earn up to a $250 bonus bet after placing your first qualifying wager. The William Hill Nevada mobile sports app allows you to bet on the go from any iPhone, iPad, or Android device from anywhere in Nevada. Sign up today and you will never miss another bet. With the largest wagering menu, the mobile sports app features same-game parlays, early cash out, and live in-play wagering on all major sports. For more information, official rules, and to see participating sign-up locations, visit williamhill.us. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
There's a difference you can feel when you step into the showroom at Finley Honda Henderson. Sure, our cars are beautiful, built to last, and our certified pre-owned inventory is one of the largest in the country. But the difference is our people. From the sales floor to the service department, we're focused on you. Because when you're the center of our attention, everybody wins. It may not be what you're used to, but we think it should be. Welcome to the difference at Finley Honda Henderson in the Valley Auto Mall.
Las Vegas, get ready. The Resco Restaurant Equipment Expo sale is back, and it's bigger than ever. May 20th through the 23rd only. 4 days of massive store-wide savings on everything you need to power your kitchen. Refrigeration, ice machines, gas cooking equipment, indoor and outdoor furniture, commercial-grade tools, glassware, tableware. It's all on sale. Meet factory reps, score exclusive giveaways, and stock up for less. It's your best chance of the year to save big. Only at Resco Restaurant Equipment, 1300 East Charleston. Don't wait. This is for 4 days only.
Too many young people in our community are struggling to meet their basic needs. Some are sleeping in cars, couch surfing, or going without enough food. Shannon West Homeless Youth Center, part of Help of Southern Nevada, provides shelter, meals, employment support, and a path to stability for youth ages 18 to 24. You can help a young person feel safe and seen. Donate today at help@10seconds.org. That's help, SONV.org. This message is sponsored by Help of Southern Nevada, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
Now back to Cofield and Company on ESPN Las Vegas.
All right, rolling on this Thursday as we're live in Boca Park, Summerlin, Nevada Brew Works. Get on down here. My beer is out, the Spring Zest Pills. That is just $6 up until 5 o'clock, happy hour, Monday to Friday, 2 to 5. And then they are going to have some hockey specials for the Golden Knights. Their Golden Ale is only $5. And then I might grab some wings. 12 wings, half price. Willie, here's the Raiders schedule leak. This doesn't mean it's accurate, but people are running with it. Mostly home games. Week 1 and 2. I was really hoping the schedule would be front-loaded with a lot of tough games, and the back end, when Mendoza's in there, would have the easier games. We'll see how it works out in the end. Week 1, supposedly home against the Dolphins. Week 2, at the Chargers, which actually is not a terrible spot. The Chargers are much, 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 much better than the Raiders, but we know the Chargers don't have much of a home field advantage at SoFi when the Raiders are in town.
True. And, it's early on. So what might be a tougher division game, later, mid to late season, is advantageous to a younger team that's just getting started like the Raiders. So it works in their favor. And we've talked about this. Kirk Cousins, I feel, is the perfect veteran to come in because he's not going to have a problem eventually taking the back seat. You have a veteran in there who's been there, done that, who's going to go in with confidence, with a chip on his shoulder.
I'm not following this second by second because I find it really annoying. This is what we grabbed before the show, the schedule leaks, and there's been a lot of them all around the NFL. For the Raiders, supposedly, we'll find out about week 3, 4, 5. That's not supposedly. We will after 5 o'clock. Week 6, home Bills. Week 7, home Rams. Week 8, at Jets. All right, Bills, Rams are tough.
I'm actually looking at our local paper of record, and they're filling in as they're going to, and they have what they're getting leaked all the way through.
All right, let's stick with this for now.
Okay.
'Cause I want to get organic reaction, and I actually want to get a chance to look at it before we go with it.
I got you. Where'd you?
So they've got the whole schedule.
Yeah. But where'd you start at for after the Raiders?
Well, let's
Chargers?
just if they had it out, let's go. What's week 3, 4, 5?
Raiders at Saints, Chiefs at Raiders week 4, Raiders at Patriots week 5. Now, none of these have TV games, so don't go wild yet on us, but I would imagine maybe week 4 we get a TV game for you. Chiefs at Raiders. Raiders at Patriots, I can't imagine will be nationally televised. The game at the Saints will be an interesting one. I'm not sure how easy that's going to be. Obviously, the Chiefs coming here. Will Pat Mahomes be under center? That remains to be seen. Will the rookie be ready by week 4?
So week 4 is Chiefs.
Here, according to the RJ.
Wow. That's a gauntlet coming out. Wait, that's going to be Justin Fields.
And-
I'm pretty confident in saying that. Or whoever's backing up Justin Fields. I don't think Mahomes is going to be ready until week 6.
I agree. I don't think
There's some crazy injuries that people are not factoring. Like, looking today, Green Bay is going to have a long wait until Micah Parsons is back. Micah Parsons got hurt in December.
Yeah.
Like, I know we've seen miraculous comebacks of, say, 7 months. But even at 7 months, I mean, you're not.
Especially when you're the quarterback, you're the franchise guy, and it's a long season. Like, Patrick, like they could go. Let's just say, for argument's sake, from the Chiefs standpoint, they could go through week 8 without him and go 4-4. They still have 9 weeks left. Mahomes comes back, and they go 8-1, whatever it would be. I mean, they'd still have 12 wins under their belt. So, it's a very long season in which you don't rush your franchise guy back. So yeah, I don't think he's going to be back for the Raider game. Raiders go to the Patriots according to this in week 5, and then they welcome the Bills in week 6, as you mentioned.
Okay, and then what?
Rams at the Raiders week 7. So back-to-back home games. Their first back-to-back at home, week 6 and 7, and then they visit your Jets in week 8.
9 is bye?
9 is at the 49ers.
Ooh, no bye until
week 13.
Holy crap. That's a big deal. Well, it's not that big a deal. But I think the hope would be you get a bye week. That's the week you're flipping to Mendoza because he gets a whole week to prep. But nope. Week 13.
I'm going to predict.
Oh, man.
Here you go. You ready? Put me on the record right now. Record this. James, get it on the air check. Mendoza makes his debut week 8.
At the Jets?
At the Jets.
The easy spot. And maybe after facing – that's a pretty tough schedule early, but especially after facing Bills and Rams back-to-back.
Yeah.
The Raiders could be sitting at like 2-5, 3-4, and then they make the change.
The thing is, if he tanks, then you're going to the 49ers. You don't want to yank him. Do they wait? Well, because you don't want to debut him week 10 because then they host the Super Bowl champs. It's very tough to say.
I'll tell you the biggest thing, Willie. We're going to take a break here in just a second. These home games against the Dolphins, the Chiefs, and the Bills, and I'm serious on the Dolphins, the Chiefs, and the Bills, the Raiders have to do a good job, or their fans do, of filling the place. Because you remember a few years ago, like people think the Dolphins stink. There is still a massive Dan Marino fan base. We're talking like 40 years ago. The Dolphins took over the stadium that day, and the Raiders wound up losing to the Dolphins. You got to shut out the Chiefs fans. And these morons from Buffalo, I mean, they're going to be here. I love them. I think they're funny, but they're going to be here. Raiders fans are going to have to do a good job of putting up some sort of blockade. Don't sell your tickets. Make a home field environment for this team early in the season, or it's going to be really ugly early on. Coming up, we got to Chicago. We'll talk to our legal insider, also one of our voices of reason, Xavier Pope.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
Aaron Rodgers is unemployed. If you're unemployed, you report to no one. This is on them. I love the Steelers as an organization. I've gotten to know the Rooney family over the years. You can't find better people than the Rooney family, but it's on them. You're allowing him for the second straight year to hold your franchise hostage.
Unsportsmanlike. Weekday morning starting at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN2.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now or go to carsforkids.org.
7 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Spring into cash for betting sports on the William Hill mobile app. With the William Hill Cash Rewards program, you can earn up to $500 in cash. Earn Spree Rewards points for mobile wagers made until May 31st. Win or lose, you can earn even more Spring Rewards points for teasers, parlays, and same-game parlays. Sign up for the William Hill mobile app today and opt in to enroll in Spring Rewards. To see participating locations, visit williamhill.us. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
Are you drowning in debt? Looking for a way out? Panda Law Firm has you covered.
Our legal team has more than 60 years of combined experience in debt relief and consumer protection. We've helped countless clients break free from the burden of debt.
If you've got more than $10,000 of debt, it's time to get Panda. We'll work to find the best solution for you.
Don't let debt hold you back. Contact Panda Law Firm today and let us help you reclaim your financial freedom.
If you've got debt,
call Panda Law 702-818-3888.
Technology never stands still. And neither does Les Olson IT. For 70 years and counting, we've helped businesses adapt, grow, and stay secure through every change. With experienced people and smart technology solutions, we make work easier, more productive, and more secure. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Let Les be here for you.
Try the turkey, bacon, and avocado at Port of Subs. Fresh, craveable, and loaded with flavor. Order now at portofsubs.com.
Slice fresh sandwiches, Port of Subs.
Right here in our backyard, sellers trust Purple Wave Auction to move their equipment, from excavators and ag equipment to trucks and specialty trailers. Our no-reserve online auctions help local sellers turn iron into opportunity. You get a dedicated territory manager who knows your operation, your market, and your timeline, backed by nationwide buyer demand, local service, national reach, real results. See why more sellers choose Purple Wave. Visit purplewave.com to get started today.
Nothing I hate in the car business more than a bunch of damn liars. That's why I created GiveMeTheVIN.com. Go to Give Me the VIN, put in your license plate number, we'll buy your car. We do what we say we're going to do when we say we're going to do a bunch of games. We come to you with a check or pay off your payoff. Look at what people have had to say about GiveMeTheVIN.com. It's real. It's here. We're the Amazon now of car buyers, and we want to buy yours.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVIN.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Harry Douglas here. PayPal is now the official peer-to-peer payment sponsor of the NFL, which means all the money moments that fandom creates, whether splitting tailgate costs or chipping in on tickets and game day food between friends, are covered. Wherever the game is played or watched, PayPal moves with fans. You can send money through text, email, or directly to friends with eligible accounts on Venmo. Just download the PayPal app and share all the moments that matter. Account with PayPal is required. Not available in all regions where PayPal operates.
Ready or not, summer is coming, and Wayfair's Memorial Day clearance is on now. Right now through May 25th, get up to 70% off everything home at Wayfair. Plus, score amazing doorbuster deals all sale long and surprise flash deals on Memorial Day. We're talking thousands of products at every style and budget. Now is the time to save big on must-haves for your patio, backyard, and beyond. These savings won't last, so don't wait. Shop Wayfair's Memorial Day clearance now through May 25th.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Hey, it's Steve Cofield. This Thursday at 3 o'clock, we are going to tap the kegs of my own handcrafted spring Pilsner while I do my show live from Nevada Brew Works in Boca Park. Nevada Brew Works, craft beer, great food, and good vibes. Come raise a glass with me this Thursday afternoon. The Golden Circle Sports Bar inside Treasure Island Hotel and Casino is the best place to watch games on the Strip. There's a huge video wall and over 55-plus screens throughout the bar. Place your sports bets at the new STN Sportsbook. The menu with the Golden Circle Burger, the Linebacker Bison Burger, Philly Cheese.
All right, we have Xavier.
Is dynamite. The Golden Circle Sports Bar's happy hour is amazing with $5 draft beers every day from 10 a to 6 p. Treasure Island, the Vegas destination for those seeking a contemporary resort experience with an ideal location on the Las Vegas Strip. And remember, parking is always free.
Hey, it's Chris Fox with Simply Vegas Real Estate. If you're buying, selling, investing,
10 seconds.
and you need to sell fast, call me 702-419-4346, 702-419-4346, or at foxsellsvegas.com. Book 100960.
Now back to Cofield and Company on ESPN Las Vegas.
Trying the beer coming up at 420. The Spring Zest Pills. Come on down. You can give it a try. I made the beer, sort of. Came in a couple of weeks ago, got the process started. Nevada Brew Works, Boca Park. Xavier Pope is in Chicago. I wonder if he has a beer. Do you have a beer, EP? What's going on, buddy?
I'm not having a beer, but I just came back. Actually,
What I was asking, do you have your own beer? I have a beer named after me.
Oh, wait, Steve, you have your own beer?
I have my own beer now. Until it sells out, which could be today.
What's it called?
The Spring Zest Pilsner. Spring Zest Pills.
I feel as if
Spring
Xavier
Zest.
should have his own. Don't they call? What is it called? Isn't it called like an EP something? What is it when a new beer's coming out or a new? I thought they use the initial.
Not sure. You got something, Xavier?
EPA doesn't sound quite right.
No,
not
EPA. Okay.
It doesn't.
But when I think about an IPA, I'm thinking, okay,
Maybe it's an
Xavier
IPA.
Ale.
Maybe it's an IPA. Maybe that's what it is.
XPA.
So we're hanging out today at our favorite brewery here in town, Nevada Brew Works, with 2 locations in town, the Arts District, and also out here in Summerlin and Boca Park. And we got a lot of NBA to get to, and I don't want to be Debbie Downer, so we'll talk about some of the down stuff in a couple of minutes. But, Willie and I and a lot of the folks on this show are big LeBron fans. And I know that sounds really strange in sports talk radio because I guess we're all supposed to hate LeBron and compare him to Michael Jordan and be one of those nerds. But Willie and I reflected back on his run with the Lakers, which I think may be over. And I think there's a lot of good moments. I think he brought the Lakers back to relevance. But a lot of Lakers fans feel like LeBron James was the one who held them back, which I don't get.
They didn't make the playoffs for 7 years before LeBron got there, Steve. That franchise was one of the worst teams in the Western Conference for years. People forgetting this, and even toward the end of Kobe Bryant's career, that team was starting to go downhill, and it just made a lot of really bad decisions. Not a lot of memorable games before LeBron James got there, and he brought that franchise a championship. You have to consider Anthony Davis was not healthy a lot of that run, and then this year you had injuries with Luka and Austin Reeves. When that team was cooking at some point in mid-season, and people forget about that. They were one of the best teams in the league when they were playing really well. LeBron James brought the team. I don't care if it's the bubble championship. It's still a championship. It's still a ring. And LeBron James has brought 3 completely different franchise championship. That's something that's very memorable in terms of his career and accomplishments.
Yeah, and it's something that when we talked about the other day is in terms of revitalizing, not only that, but without LeBron, you don't get AD. Without AD, you don't turn around in exchange and get Luka, setting yourself up for the next phase of the franchise. So he's done so much more. And one other aspect that I mentioned a couple days ago, Xavier, is at a time where not only sports was in question, and we didn't know what was going on in the world. I don't know about Chicago, but in Las Vegas, you could drive down. They were biking up and down Las Vegas Boulevard because it looked like a scene out of The Walking Dead. There was no civilization. He didn't only be a part of like Asia Wilson and hockey players in these bubbles. They uplifted the world with sports, and that was the year the Lakers win it. So when you take a storied franchise and you're the face of the NBA at that time, he didn't just help revive the NBA in sports, but he helped uplifted the world and provided highlights.
That's a great point. I think that we forget. We have a lot of amnesia about the pandemic. The world, we were living in a completely different world after than before in so many different ways. And some of the contributions that were made during the pandemic impacted society for good. And the people who provided entertainment, relief from the stressful times we were living in, that was really important. And then some of the decisions that were made in the league to be able to protect players' health, that was some of the more impactful things that actually happened that saved other lives in terms of how to handle properly, safely moving through a pandemic. And LeBron James wound up with the championship at the end of that. I think that should be celebrated.
He's a regular on Thursdays right here on ESPN Las Vegas, Xavier Pope. One other thing about LeBron's years in L.A., winning just one title. Willie brought up a good point the other day. Wilt is regarded as an all-time great Laker, and he only won one title. I thought what you wrote on Threads was something I hadn't thought of. Were you trying to say that LeBron's run at more titles was actually held back in some ways by AD and Luka because of their injuries?
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. I mean, I think that maybe they could have been more competitive. They could have made different personnel decisions.
Okay.
Injuries is a great unknown, right, Steve? You don't know where your franchise it could go with when injuries happen to your team, and you can't avoid that. I mean, should the Lakers be looked at a certain way because they took AD, knowing that he did have some injury issues when he was a Pelican? What about the responsibility of the franchise to be able to do that? You have to look at that decision. You have to look at Luka getting into shape and getting into becoming leading the league in scoring. Like how did they have to get up to speed with that? And then some of the other personnel decisions that they made that didn't pan out. And Vincent from Miami, there's decisions like that. And so you have to consider all of the moves the Lakers made prior to LeBron getting there. And the Lakers were lucky that LeBron even wanted to go to LA as opposed and getting them out of the doldrum of being at the bottom of the Western Conference.
Well, I mean, the LeBron and Jordan stuff and how much we overhype that is all relative nonsense when you have a sobering week like we have around the NBA. Two players, former players, pass away. Brandon Clark at just 29 years old, and Jason Collins at 47 years old. I mean, that's rough stuff there in both cases. And I do want to point out one thing. I saw someone say they were a little bit insulted that Jason Collins, when people put out that he had passed away, it's Jason Collins, first openly gay player in the NBA, comma passes. Do we need that in the headline? Is that actually insulting?
No, we don't. That's not insulting at all. That's actually empowering. And people like Jason Collins and representation in a world that many players have not come out and aren't comfortable sharing their sexuality at a time we do have some regressive politics in our country. That's the time that people like Jason Collins should be celebrated and looked at as heroes for people who have their identity and want to see themselves represented in them. I think that people who say things like that, clearly they aren't someone who is gay and don't really care about other people's representation. So like, quote unquote, woke thing to say. But when people look like, because they're used to people having the same identity as them. But for people need other people to come up and be courageous about who they are so people can be more comfortable with who they are. And also with entities and society accepting people for who they are. And I think that's why that has to be part of his legacy as a player and as a person.
Well, each week, if you listen to The Spot, we kind of deep dive on stuff like this and get into our feelings, and that might make some people feel uncomfortable. I can tell you a guy who actually, funny enough, lives like right up the road, less than 2 miles away, Dana White, from where we are right now. Last week had something to say again about mental health amongst men. He said, "I hate this whole men's mental health bull crap that they talk about. Unfortunately, when you're a man, you're the provider. You are the one that takes care of your family. You're the example for your kids when they grow up, and your sons and and your daughters. And unfortunately, you can't be that guy. I see guys posting on social media, I had a bad day and I'm so sad, and all this other crazy S." Your reaction?
My reaction is we saw you having a bad day when you're with your wife in video, and other times you've had outbursts. So, okay, what's different? It's different. You have your politics. You get to be able to have the way you express yourself and to act a certain way. Is that considered anything different than some other people like having these different issues? And I think it's these people who are wearing this quote unquote machoism as a form of political and personal expression. You are allowed to have that, but you can't turn around and say that other people aren't allowed to have their expression as well. How you live your life shouldn't be infringing on how other people live their lives, my brother.
I also think that it's very easy to make a comment that Dana White's made for the last 18 months like this on a few occasions when you're a billionaire. Because regardless of what people want to say that, well, money isn't everything, but you know what? For those people that are going through trying times, and because they're going through hard times, and let's just talk about the media business and how newspapers are ending people's careers abruptly, or people are losing their jobs. When you don't have money, it can prey on your mental health. It's very easy to take this take when you have a lot of money that can solve a lot of problems that other people's problems can't be solved.
Yeah, I think that's correct. And I think we also, in the mental health crisis we have in this country, is also the healthcare crisis, because mental health care, and some of the healthcare is be able to pay for you to go to see a therapist. That's number one. And the second thing about that is when billionaires or celebrities or athletes, they get in trouble, you have the Mike Vrabel situation. The first thing people are talking about is getting help and going to therapy. So people can lean on it when they they get under the bus for any scandal they create, but then normal people can't do that as well. I think that's a double standard.
You know what I find funny about that too is somebody that he employs and leans on for mentorship of his younger guys what is it, the Dana White, what is it, the Fight Club, or the Contender Series, who's a Hall of Famer. But talk to me for a cover story for a local magazine, identity issues post-retirement, because you go through this identity crisis of, well, who am I now? Like is Forrest Griffin. I mean, it's one of the most popular, one of the most famous, one of the most, important figures in the past of UFC. and he works for UFC.
Yeah.
And I interviewed 3 different people: him, Vernon Fox, a former NFL player, and somebody who mentors athletes, now young athletes, to prepare them for retirement. Before, it said, when you retire, man, you go through it for the first couple of years.
Yeah, and I think that a lot of unions and different leagues talk about this, and this is the conversations that happens when guys are getting drafted. Is about mental health and is about transitioning into the league and how you deal not only with money, but all the lifestyle you're living, but also those things on the back end of careers and how various retirement organizations related to players have been beefed up because of that transition from playing life and retired life to what it feels, and the pressures that come with your mind, your body, your finances, what you're going to do with your life. I think instead of denouncing this way of how you're supposed to address being a whole and complete person in all the different stages of your life, you should be embracing that so the athletes in your sport feel that they're supported when they leave the sport.
Xavier Pope is up on ESPN Las Vegas as we're talking about a little mental health today. And, I hadn't seen this light shined on this story before, but if you want to talk about a dude-to-dude relationship that has turned out to be something really special, can you mention what's going on with Pop and Tim Duncan? Obviously, Greg Popovich not in great health, and apparently Tim Duncan has been there for him for a while now.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great, heartwarming story about Greg Popovich, former coach of San Antonio Spurs, or a championship coach, having a stroke. And then since 2024, Tim Duncan being by his side doing rehab because he felt that that's what he did for Tim Duncan when he was a player. And it's, it's really heartwarming to see that after the 00s, after the career, that people are still a part of each other's lives. We just talked about transition outside of sports, and this part of a Pop's life that's different for him, and having to deal with that vulnerability that his players are sticking by him and being able to see him through. And I think that's really, really important to see, because this is not just what's happening on TV. This is behind the scenes. This is real life stuff, guys. And it's really great to see.
In closing, the one place where maybe feelings are not acceptable are roast. And the Kevin Hart roast went down the other day, and it was kind of nasty at times. It was kind of funny. If Tony Hinchcliffe could have talked to someone, he looked like he wanted to cry when Chelsea Handler was annihilating him. Did you like it overall? Or do you think Kevin Hart went over the line at one point?
I just think that people know that roast
1 minute.
At some point. And I think that the line was crossed when it related to a George Floyd joke and how he passed away. And I think the thing is, he's not there to defend himself. And how he passed away was a tragic event, and it sparked a change in how we do things in this country. We've seen backlash to that. And I think that's where people found to be tasteless and classless, and that Kevin Hart laughed at that joke. And I think that a lot of comedians go back and forth on what they can and can't say. But I think when there's a difference between a joke that's meant to make people laugh, even if it's kind of dark, and something that's meant to dehumanize a whole group of people. And that's where a lot of people have the issues with.
EP, have a good weekend. We appreciate you coming on, and we'll talk to you soon, buddy. Love you.
Love you too, George.
10.
There he is. Xavier Pope. Willie's here. It's Cofield. Here is Nevada Brew Works on this Thursday, Boca Park. We're trying the Cofield beer, so come on down. You can try it as well. We'll be here past 6 o'clock.
Plumbers, HVAC techs, contractors, and DIYers. McFadden-Dale Industrial Hardware has the tools, parts, and supplies to power your next project. Open early and stocked with everything you need. Stop by South Decatur near Russell. McFadden-Dale Industrial Hardware. Fast, easy, and built for the pros.
Hey, it's Chris Fox with Simply Vegas Real Estate. If you're buying, selling, investing, or you have a property in distress and you need to sell fast, call me 702-419-4346. 702-419-4346. Or at foxsellsvegas.com. Broker 100960.
It's JT for Finley Volvo Las Vegas. What deals they have? How about the 2026 Volvo XC90 B5, only $599 per month. That's for a 36-month lease. That gets you 7,500 miles per year and only $5,059 due at the lease signing. The MSRP is $62,445. They have the deals you're looking for and the vehicle safe. Finley Volvo, Las Vegas.
My buddy dies. I show up to the funeral. Open casket. We're still doing that? I've never understood open casket. I don't get it. It's like, you told me he was dead. I believed you.
From the Monday Morning Podcast, his hit film Old Dads, and his latest Grammy-nominated special on Hulu, comedian Bill Burr, coming to Dolby Live at Park MGM, Saturday, August 1st. Get tickets now at parkmgm.com. Don't miss Bill Burr.
10 seconds.
VSportsNetwork.com for everything ESPN Las Vegas, 1100 AM and 100.9 FM, KWWN Las Vegas. It's Cofield and Company on ESPN Las Vegas and ESPN Reno.
All right, rolling on hour 2. Nevada Brew Works, Boca Park. Willie, Cofield, Golden Knights game coming up at 6:30. We're going to be here. I know Willie's staying for a little while after. I'm going to be staying around for a while to watch the game, enjoy the brewskis. My beer is out. Came down here a couple weeks ago and started the process of making a beer. And Jason and the fine folks at Nevada Brew Works were cool, walked me through, and we've come up with a Spring Zest Pils. I wanted a Pilsner, so they come up with a Pils. So come on down. You can try it. Happy Hour goes down Monday to Friday from 2 to 5, so the beers are just $6. Tonight they've got a $5 beer special on the Golden Ale. So you're going to want to try that, and also a wing special. This hour every day in Reno and Vegas is brought to you by our friends at Battleborn Injury Lawyers. 766-1400 is the number. Let's get to it.
Battleborn Injury Lawyers presents The Big 4 at 4. Number 4.
Willie, would you say in general you're a person who is comfortable in crowds? Like, do you like going to concerts? Do you like going to big parties?
Not anymore. I used to love going to concerts.
Yeah, that's a good point. You were a club guy.
Yeah, back in the 80s when nowadays what we call these big, what is it, the EDC, whether they come with the raves, the big groups.
That's right, EDC's weekend. You have like 150,000 people out there.
Right, but back in the day at Thomas and Mack, when that first started was when, I remember the Def Jam tour, and then with Run DMC and the Beastie Boys, or you'd have all these different summer groups like the New Kids on the Block and Dino and the Cover Girls, right? We'd go to we had tickets to all the concerts. We got free at the Sentinel Voice because they advertised with the paper. We get tickets, and we go. I love the concerts, love the clubs, DJ'd in the clubs, mobile DJ, Christmas parties, whatnot. Now, I'll just go. I'd rather go to a nice showroom for a nice show, jazz show. Uncle Paul comes to town, whatever. But crowds, I'll tell you, to be honest with you, a couple of years ago when we could still go on the field, Paul Gutierrez and I would walk the field pregame. If I'd hear Willie Ramirez, and I'd look up, and they would just be like fans of Cofield and Company, I get nervous. I don't like people knowing who I am, and I don't know who they are.
All right, you took this further than I was going. Is that right?
Yeah, I don't. The Aces games are probably the only one I feel comfortable. Mateo can attest to this. I'll walk around, and I think that we generally all have fans in there because everybody's so happy to be at Aces games, and everybody loves the Aces. But the Raiders games or
I didn't know that.
Golden Knights games, you walk around, people know you, and you don't know them. It's like, what's going on?
Well, we had Rudy, the Raiders fan. I think is still hanging out with his son. And the funny story, Rudy came up, was saying hi to us before the show, and he's like, "Yeah, you met my son back at a remote. He was real little. His son's like 14 years old." I'm like, "Wait, we are getting old, man." But Rudy walked up to you, and I was like, "Okay, Mateo, I guess we got to protect Willie from Rudy here." I didn't know you were all nervous around the listeners.
Well, no,
hey, Willie,
that's different.
Okay,
That's different.
you don't like the situation where you don't know what the hell's going on.
You introduced me to him.
I was embellishing the story.
Yes,
but my where I was going with this is I am not a crowd person either. And if I get in a big crowd and or I'm at a concert or at a bar, I will usually eventually, if I'm in the middle of the crowd, I will eventually find my back to the wall and go to a corner, which seems like it is antisocial, but I don't like being kind of swarmed. And you know what I don't like doing? And I almost never do it. I don't like getting on elevators when they're full. And I don't know, I guess on this vacation we were just on, we had a situation where elevator opens and the whole thing is full. Right. And they're like, "Oh, you can fit in, and you can get your luggage in here. You can fit in." And I'm like, okay, I got on. I saw a video of an elevator near the Strip in the last couple of days where there were supposedly 17 people on an elevator, and it got stuck for an hour. That reset me. I'm never getting on a crowded elevator again. I'm not saying that's going to happen to me, but I don't want it to happen to me. Listen, when the video I saw, a woman is showing the video, and everyone's in good spirits, that had to be like in the first 5 minutes. Like 55 minutes in, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, because you can't sit down. 17 people. They got stuck for an hour. That's like one of the scariest things that can happen.
Well, this person, and I'm not going to put her username out for her Instagram, even though it's sitting on X, but very first time I see somebody with the camera out as a man, and I see how many women, you know where my hands are going?
You're like,
in front of me, and where everybody
that
can
would
see
be great,
it.
wouldn't it?
Because I'm not going to be the one that gets somebody gets sneaks a pinch in and points at me, or they're like, what?
I got harassed by the bald guy.
Willie Ramirez from ESPN. Hey, Willie Ramirez, who? What?
That's your double nightmare. Yeah. Crowded elevator, and someone recognizes you.
He did it. I'll tell
Bastard.
you. I don't know if I should share this, but you talk.
Well,
about,
you probably shouldn't. If that's the start to the story, you probably shouldn't.
Talk about.
How about doing it during the break, and I'll be like,
okay.
that'll work on the air.
Yeah.
Number three.
Number 3.
Sometimes it's good to censor each other. I would like to censor. It's too late. I would like to censor everyone around the NFL social media departments. Here's the story. Supposedly from Front Office Sports, they're saying the NFL will not be reviewing team videos for jokes surrounding Vrabel and Rossini ahead of the schedule release, because all the teams put out their videos.
Oh yeah.
I actually think it's stupid material, and it's kind of hackneyed. I don't think anyone should be doing it. Not that the story shouldn't be covered, but poking fun at a situation that has been poked at for 3 and 4 weeks, there's really nothing funny left to put out there. And I don't like Vrabel. I don't like the Patriots. I don't like Patriots fans. I'd be the first guy to say, pile on the Patriots. But, take the high ground. Enough of this.
You know what it does? The bad part of that has nothing to do with Vrabel or Rossini. When you do that, it's bad for his wife and his kid. It's that's the worst part of what they're not thinking about. You can poke fun. You want to poke fun at them. You want to make comments, whatever the case may be. Hey, they put themselves out there, but the problem with that is those schedule videos that everybody's waiting for, right? Isn't the Chargers supposedly the one that has the best?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, if you do that, then all of a sudden, his family is just under the gun again, and that's not fair.
It's weak. I'm not saying it's not a story. I don't see how much the story has value anymore. And there are 8 to 10 social media content creators who have made a little bit of fame off of covering it. And as JTTB said a couple of weeks ago, JT the Brick was like, you guys are losers. If this is all you have to report on, you're not really doing investigative journalism. You're just getting your jollies off and trying to ruin a couple of people's lives. And then if you come back and it's like, well, they're the ones who are cheating. Shut up. Police your own life. Find something else legit sports-wise or that has some sizzle to cover. We're tired of seeing the freaking notes and the pictures. All right. They were doinking each other. They were cheating on their spouse for 7 years. In Rossini's case, a little less. She told jokes about her husband. They were out of control in terms of their arrogance. We get it. The story's done. We don't need a freaking, I don't know, what character, what is someone going to do? I don't know cartoons and video games, so I'm sure there's going to be some video game that's featured to release the schedule, and they're going to want, Rossini,
some anime,
little Vrabel and Rossini in there. Cut it out. Number 2.
Number 2.
Dude, I'm kind of feeling the Rousey Carano card coming up this weekend. Are you at all? Have you picked up on the hype? Because the social media hype today, because they did a good job yesterday of putting videos together and interviews, today was pretty heavy.
I haven't had a chance to get caught up into it purposely because I have a lot of other things going, but I am looking forward to it.
Can you do me a favor?
Yeah.
While I set this up a little more, there's on our rundown, it says TBT 17 years ago, Cofield and Carano. Click on the video. Boy, have I aged gracefully. Boy, oh boy. So I talked to Gina Carano back in, now it's 2009, and it literally was like this small MMA fan fest in whatever convention area Del Mar has, and we were just in front of or inside a fake cage, and I was doing a very rudimentary video.
Is that a chain?
It is. That was one of the things I noticed. I was wearing a chain, which is long gone. The other thing is I actually have hair. I don't know what happened to the color of my hair. What color is that?
Brown.
Yeah, and I don't weigh 280 pounds, but I got a kick out of that watching back. And my favorite comment, if you scroll down on YouTube, someone goes, Cofield is so awkward in this interview. I think it's a bit. He's so good at it.
Show the goods.
I said something about Show the Goods. I probably did a little bit of, my Johnny Carson upbringing, but Gina Carano can be a little bit flirty. Like she was even doing it at her press conference recently. Listen, she's got some opinions I might not agree with. That cost her a deal with Disney. There are things about Rousey and Carano that drive me nuts, but I like both of them. And I really do think, even though they're way up there in age, I think they're 43 and 39 years old, they are two of the icons of that knocked down the door for women's MMA. And if you like women fighting, that wasn't going to happen without those two. And the fact that they're going to meet up and make a lot of money and get a lot of views, I think is really cool. You're enthralled by watching me do this video.
I'm sitting
now
here
you want to go. You got to listen to it.
I'm trying to pick up on
a pretty good interview.
I'm trying to pick up on all the mannerisms. Not to mention the sponsor. That's an old school place here in town. That's in the bottom. I'm not going to say who it is. Because I'm going to make everybody go find this on YouTube. Google Gina Carano on Dating and the Worm with Cofield. Put that into YouTube and search for it. But yeah.
By the way, back in the day, because she was popular and there wasn't a lot of coverage of MMA. I think that has. I mean, it's 17 years old. I think it has like 101,000 views.
Is that where it's at?
Yeah,
100K.
Well, you're enthralled.
230 thumbs up.
I froze you. How many thumbs down?
Doesn't say.
Good.
Doesn't say. It's kind of like
no thumbs down.
The whole Show the Goods thing and the whole. I'm just waiting for the eyes to slip a little bit. There's highlights now.
No, I don't do that.
I never look down. I'm going to compare you to Conan O'Brien with the famous Nicole Scherzinger interview. You remember that one?
Yes.
Conan, focus.
Yes. I was focused the whole time. I was focused. Number one.
All
right, John Tortorella pushing back on Adam Hill yesterday. What happened with this whole Marner narrative thing?
I don't think it was yesterday. I heard you say that earlier. I just grabbed it and saw it, but I think it was the day before the game. But nevertheless, Mitch Marner, has gone on a little bit of a tear. He was leading the postseason, the entire postseason with points. And, of course, the narrative coming out of Toronto is that he didn't perform for the Maple Leafs. But people seem to forget that this was a team that had a lot of superstars on it. It had a lot of score. It wasn't just Mitch Marner. He was just the hometown guy, the guy that was drafted to the team that was supposed to lead them to the promised land, and they never got there. But, they had a goaltender that couldn't get it done. They had Austin Matthews it was collectively a team that couldn't get it done. Now Mitch Marner comes to Vegas. Toronto's in an uproar. We
got about 80 seconds left here, so if you want to get to the bite,
let's run. So the narrative is out there that Mitch Marner couldn't get it done in Toronto, and the trolls have come out on social media. We
talked about this a little last night, but Marner taking on the narratives that have been out there about him head on and having the success he has. How positive do you feel about him and what he's done?
You guys don't see the stuff he does. The people here, people in Toronto, all the people that talk about this guy, they don't see any of the things that he brings to a game, even if he doesn't score a goal. I've known that coaching against him. So that narrative is a bunch of like I said last night, Mitch doesn't care. Mitch is a pro. He's a terrific player, one of the top players in this league, and he plays for us.
Yeah, part of that answer is a bunch, pardon my French, John, a bunch of beep as well. What do you mean the people here? Adam Hill asked you about a narrative that exists outside of the market. People here have been mostly nice to Mitch Marner. So I don't know what this, the people here don't realize. You've been here like 2 weeks. What do you know about here?
That's the problem I had with this is that don't ridicule the local media when you just got here. And on top of it saying, well, I even know that from coaching against him. You know the work that he's put in when during the offseason in Toronto and the work he put in practices while you're coaching elsewhere. Don't dog the local media when there's been nothing but positive press about Mitch Marner this whole time that he's been here. Tired of hearing that, torts.
Summer just got a whole lot more rewarding at Terrible's. During our 100 Days of Summer, we are dropping new deals every single day. At Terrible's, the calendar is stacked. Free products, buy one, get one offers, and 50 cents off each gallon of gas every day. What are you waiting for? The only way to find out is to download the Terrible's Plus Rewards app and earn daily rewards all summer long. 100 Days of Summer at Terrible's. Something new every day, everywhere. Visit Terrible's.com for details.
Hey, it's JT. Grimaldi's is hands down my favorite pizza in Vegas. Only at Grimaldi's can you get their famous New York-style coal-fired brick oven pizza. Grimaldi's has 4 locations in the Vegas Valley, or check them out online at grimaldispizzeria.com.
Good morning.
Vegas is built on service.
Studio lights on, please.
3 shifts a day.
All right, let's do this.
As your morning begins.
It's showtime. We have a lot to talk about live on the program for the next 3 hours.
To do our part, News 3 Today delivers Las Vegas stories that shape your community.
Just in some breaking news on the economics front.
So, whether it's late breaking,
news,
bumper to bumper,
avoid using flamingo,
or clearing skies,
no showers anticipated.
It's News 3 Today.
Sign up today for a new William Hill Nevada mobile sports account, and you can earn up to a $250 bonus bet after placing your first qualifying wager. The William Hill Nevada mobile sports app allows you to bet on the go from any iPhone, iPad, or Android device from anywhere in Nevada. Sign up today and you will never miss another bet. With the largest wagering menu, the mobile sports app features same-game parlays, early cash out, and live in-play wagering on all major sports. For more information, official rules, and to see participating sign-up locations, visit williamhill.us. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey, Chuck, I see you have a 4.8 review rating on Trustpilot. Nice.
Our staff is so proud of their over 8,000 stellar reviews on Trustpilot. One of the best reasons to do business with Dollar Loan Center is our amazing bank-like locations and real, live, friendly staff.
I know your Southern Nevada customers just love your staff.
And so do I. We're so different than the average payday, check cashing, or title loan joints. We lend more and give more time to pay back. Look, our locations are amazing, great music on, and you immediately feel comfortable and welcome, like banks used to be. Another thing we do that banks used to do is actually lend money.
Founded in Las Vegas over 28 years ago, DLC lends up to $5,000 in minutes. Stop by any of our 25 nearby locations to meet our real friendly staff. You can also apply over the phone or online at don'tbebroke.com.
Don't miss it! Resco's Expo Sale, May 20th to the 23rd. 4 days only. Store-wide savings on refrigeration, cooking equipment, furniture, and more. Meet factory reps and score free prizes. Resco's Restaurant Equipment, 1300 East Charleston. This is your shot to save big.
This Lotus Cares message is brought to you by Subaru of Las Vegas. This May, we celebrate Mental Health Awareness Month. Explore exciting events, free resources, and more to promote mental health awareness. Check out mhanational.org. This Lotus Cares message is brought to you by Subaru of Las Vegas. That's easy. That's community. SubaruofLasVegas.com.
Looking for heavy equipment but don't know where to buy? Purple Wave Auction has you covered. Always online and always no reserve. It's your destination for construction or ag equipment ready to work. We even sell semis, trailers, and fleet equipment for your operation. Best part? It's free to join. Head to purplewave.com. That's purplewave.com. Sign up for a free account and start bidding today. Purple Wave Auction, the easiest and most straightforward way to buy and sell equipment.
Hello?
This is Evil Bill from Big Bank. You owe the bank money and I'm going to collect. I'll call your house 1,000 times a day and even threaten to sue you. I'll invade your personal space by yelling at you over the radio. I'll call your family and friends to embarrass you to try and find out where you are. I'll even tell you that I'm coming to your house or office to have you arrested. None of this is legal, but I'll say and do whatever I can to make you pay. What? Oh no, it's the Panda again.
Call Panda Law, 702-818-3888.
Fed up with harassing collector calls? We can make them stop. If you have debt, collectors aren't allowed to harass you. Call Peters & Associates today to learn your options to get out of debt and make the calls stop.
Call Panda Law, 702-818-3888.
There's a pill version of Ozempic.
Hello, I'm Ozempic, and I'm other GLP-1s kind of like him. Hey, did I hear there's a pill version of Ozempic? Yep, you sure did. Ask your doctor about which FDA-approved uses of the Ozempic pen or pill may be right for you. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and learn more about Ozempic semaglutide tablets 9 milligrams and Ozempic semaglutide injection 2 milligrams.
There's a pill version of Ozempic.
Hey, it's Chris Fox with Simply Vegas Real Estate. If you're buying, selling, investing, or you have a property in distress and you need to sell fast, call me 702-419-4346. 702-419-4346. Or at foxsellsvegas.com. Broker 100960.
What did they just say?
You don't have to yell at us. Nobody is on the other side of this issue.
10 seconds. A Law text line 702-364-1100. Bay Law Injury Attorneys. Winning is not an accident. It's Cofield and Company on ESPN Las Vegas and ESPN Reno.
Hey, you can watch us right now up on Facebook and YouTube and Twitter. Just look up Cofield or Steve Cofield. ESPN Las Vegas. The streams are everywhere. We're live today at Nevada Brew Works, our favorite brewery here in town. Second location, Boca Park. First location, Arts District. And, as it turns out, Jason, the owner, and, one of the brewers here. I don't know. Should I call you the brewmaster, or that is insulting your employees? Because you have some real true brewmasters here.
Yeah, I used to be the brewmaster. I've brewed many years for Nevada Brew Works, so I think that's fair. But I have turned it over, and Dave's our brewmaster now. I would give him the official title, and he's amazing. He's great.
So this is serious stuff. We're gonna have fun with it, but making beers, it's like a big deal. And you were telling me about your background. And first of all, when you said Purdue, and then you said it was mechanical engineering, right?
I did electrical engineering.
Electrical engineering. Anytime I hear engineer, and then I see someone in the food business, I'm like, okay, they're brilliant. But there is a lot of science that goes into brewing beers. And because you guys are trying so many different things in making your beers, you gain an expertise over time, right?
Yeah, I mean, I was really heavy in construction engineering, and I worked for a lot of electrical contractors, and I picked up a lot of just know-how about, how to get through a contract, how to build. And I really cut my teeth on the control side of things when I worked out the wastewater treatment plants. And that did help quite a bit when we were building, and it helps with troubleshooting. You have a lot of control panels that you're dealing with. You got a lot of sensors. So it really helps with some of the troubleshooting with the brewery, and it really helped with the construction. And now that we got two breweries, of course, we're down here at the Boca Park. This is our new brewery. Yes, we brew the beer here as well. Now, our offering's a little bit more limited over here. We have a smaller system, just a smaller place in general over here in Summerlin. And if you want our full offering, you can always go downtown to the Main Street Arts District location.
I might get cheesy and hardcore on stuff because I'm always fascinated by breweries and restaurants and the business and how you guys do this. Why is it the right time now for breweries to start hitting the burbs?
I mean, breweries have really taken over those kind of dingy areas traditionally over the last decade, and you're seeing a lot of movement in the brewery industry. You're seeing consolidation. You're seeing the big players buy up the small players. You're seeing the small players try to combine to survive. So there's a lot of maneuvering going on right now. But I felt like for us, it made sense. We are the brew pub model. We have a restaurant. We really specialize pizza, burgers, wings. We're family friendly. And so for us, it made a lot of sense to bring something over to Summerlin. Summerlin's just been traditionally underserved. And I think bringing a brewery over to this side of town made a lot of sense. And it's been good so far, Steve.
And everyone who lives over here, Boca Park. If you don't live over this way, it's easy to get to, real close to the Summerlin Parkway. And 95 obviously shoots off from the Summerlin Parkway. It's a perfect location. How much intake or input do you have into the food, into the menu?
Oh, definitely very much. I'm involved in the kitchen a lot.
What were you looking for?
When we started, we really said, let's stick to pizza, wings, and burgers. And that's been a staple. Desert Companion magazine, they named us best burger in Las Vegas a few years ago. Really appreciated that. Thrillist had named us top 8 pizza at one point. So, we've got some accolades to go with it. And I'm always involved in the kitchen to see what's going on. Now over here in Summerlin, we decided maybe we'll do a little bit more. We've got more space. That means you can put in more equipment. That means you can cook more cool stuff. So why not add some lobsters? Why not add some steaks? We got a salmon dish over here. So we've got some more dinner offerings as we make it a little bit more of an elevated experience at the Summerlin location.
There's a 6-ounce sirloin. There's an 8-ounce sirloin filet. There's a 12-ounce New York strip. And then you go for the big boy. You got an 18-ounce ribeye bone-in. Do you have a favorite steak, a favorite cut? I always love last time we had a big conversation about this. We were actually in Indianapolis for the Super Bowl, and we had the guys on from St. Elmo, which is like one of their big steakhouses there. And I think the guy was like, what is wrong with these two? Because it was Adam Hill and I. We were like going gaga over steak. So I'll ask you again, do you have a favorite cut?
Yeah, I got to go for the ribeye. I mean, I like that marbling. I like a little bit of fat in there. I like that, the bone in that we serve here. And I usually go for, I mean, I feel like you're the same way, Steve. I feel like you're going for the ribeye. You just seem like that kind of guy.
I don't know what that means, but I go for all four of them. So I'm not going to have all four tonight at the same time. By the way, excellent bonus. Sunday to Thursday, reverse happy hour, half off on the steaks. All day Sunday is half off steaks.
All day Sunday.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, that's been a really big promotion for us. Everybody wants to come in now on Sunday and check it out. And in reverse happy hour, like you said. So during the week at night, after 9 o'clock, you're getting off work. Maybe you're in the area over here. We stay open a little past 11. Come down and get a half price steak anytime between 9 and 11, Sunday through Thursday.
And as we know, for those around Las Vegas, late night food and especially stuff like steaks used to be readily available and a big deal around town. And there aren't that many places that serve late night anymore. So you want to come over here to Nevada Brew Works. Jason is with us, the owner. We're hanging out through 6 o'clock. We'll be watching the Golden Knights game here. Now, here's the most important part of this conversation. Me and this show. You're a listener. And you've listened for a while, which I was thrilled to hear that. You made some references to my personality, which you nailed it. Do you remember what you said?
Yeah, Steve. I mean, some of my favorite things about should we some of my favorite things about you. You're very humble. And so some of the funniest moments when as a listener, and I think a lot of your listeners listening right now, they'll agree, it's when you make fun of yourself. It's when you call yourself a fat slob. It's when you call yourself ugly. The humbling moments, Steve, that's a part of your charm. And it's great.
Lowered expectations.
I love it.
And everything looks good at that point. All right. So let's talk about this beer specifically, the Spring Zest Pils. And I sort of started the process, which that was cool. Right off the bat, what was it? I was raking stuff into a bucket, and then you yelled at me like, pick it up. Can I tell you for a second, and you're a lot younger than me, but for a second I was like, okay, Dad, because my dad used to do that. Because I have two brothers and my father. They're all mechanically inclined. They all can build stuff, fix stuff. I am the black sheep. I'm awful. But when you yelled at me, like, come on, let's go, pick it up. What was I doing there with the hops? And then I talked about the boiling cauldron that I almost fell in. I didn't. But so let's talk about the process and what the beginning of the process and then kind of flavoring the beer.
Sure. You did a great job, by
Thanks,
the way,
man.
Steve. I might have a spot open for you opening
Okay.
soon. So maybe we can get you on.
I might need it. You
But
never
yeah,
know.
I mean, you did. You got in there. We mashed in first, and you got to pull out all the spent grain. Once you pull all the starches out of the grains, you want to get all the husks and stuff out of the mash tun, and you lauder. At this point, it's called wort, the sugar water, over into the cauldron, also known in brewing industry as a boil kettle, Steve. And so yeah, at that point, we boiled it in the boil kettle, and you got to throw in the hops. Those were Saaz hops that we tossed in. Those are kind of a noble hop. They're a spicy hop, really good for just clean lager Pilsner type beers. One of our favorites that we use. And then after that, we had you set up for knockout, and you helped us. You want to cool it very rapidly before you pitch the yeast. And so we move it over into a fermenter, and we chill it rapidly. We want to get it down to about room temperature because it's coming from boiling, right? And then that way we can pitch the yeast into it, and the yeast is what's really doing the magic. At that point, we still just have sugar water, and what we want is beer.
Give me an opinion. Can you own a brewery and not be like really into the process? Like, do you know people who own places and they're like, oh, my brewmaster does everything? Because you're like really into it. I mean, you're hands-on. Can you do it?
I think that's possible, but yeah, I'm just kind of a big brewery dork. I went to Siebel, I did the classes, and I wanted to do the process. I was a home brewer before.
Oh, you were.
I wasn't a super dedicated home brewer, but I did probably brew maybe 5 times a year, mostly just to have cheap beer to drink, and to kind of have fun with it. So I mean, I think it's certainly possible, but you just have such a bigger respect for it, and back at Purdue when I took all those engineering classes, man, it would have been good to have some more chemistry classes. I tell you what, because there's a lot of stuff going on inside those tanks. When the yeast is doing its thing, that's way above my my engineering degree. So that would have been nice to maybe have a little bit more chemistry in my past, but but no, I think it's there. Nothing is going to ever replace hands-on experience, right?
Nevada Brew Works here in Boca Park. There's a spot in the Arts District, and my beer is out. They've got 10 other beers on the board, so you want to come on down here before 5 o'clock. Just $6 on my beer and all the other beers, and then during the Golden Knights game tonight, you got a special on the wings. Basically, it's like less than $1 a wing.
Yeah, we're doing half price on the 12-pack of wings tonight. We're also going to do $5 golden blonde ales during the Knights game. Come down, mention the deal, and it'll be here waiting for you. You can also get that deal downtown.
Do I insult you when I say that we share as Big Ten schools, even though Purdue was in the Big Ten a lot longer than Rutgers? We share the frustration of trying to keep up with the big boys and all the money. Or do you look at the East Coast additions, Maryland and Rutgers, maybe even Nebraska too, and you're like, get out of here. You're not really Big Ten.
Man, Steve, before we came on, you guys only said there was one rule, and that was, no potty mouth words.
No
okay, now we got to bring up Purdue football
Rutgers.
On the air. What are we doing?
I thought you were going to
here,
go after
Steve?
Rutgers. Be like, Rutgers is ass.
Now, I think we do share that, and Purdue's had its up and downs. Hey, let's not forget, Purdue was in the championship game against Michigan in the Big Ten not that long ago, and
and that's the thing.
It's
Here's
up
the
and
thing.
down.
I think they're on the way back. It's been a pretty solid program. Indiana's been the one that has been crap. So first of all, Indiana gives everyone else hope if you do it the right way and you have some money. I don't think you have to beat Ohio State and Michigan and maybe even Penn State in money, but you can do it. And you guys have done it. Like, Purdue has been a respectable football program, and certainly was the reason I like Purdue in the past. Well, one, again, this will show my age. I got to interview Drew Brees a lot when he was in college. I was just starting out in radio, and Purdue was really good about, like, hey, let's get this guy on. Maybe they knew, like, hey, let's get a media training. But I always loved Joe Tiller and the fact that everyone else was freaking grinding it out, and they would throw the ball around the yard.
So, I grew up in West Lafayette. I'm from Indiana. We talked a little bit about Indianapolis, but I grew up in West Lafayette, there where Purdue's at. And the 4 years that I was in high school, Drew Brees was the quarterback at Purdue. So, he was like basically everybody's idol, that I know. And so, when you come back to the cradle of quarterbacks, that's Purdue. Maybe we'll get back there.
I think they can. I think Barry Odom was a tremendous coach. I think it was a good decision for him to take that job, and I think you guys are going to win. Again, thanks for having us out here. We're up against it with a break here, but we'll probably talk to you a little later in the show. Thank you so much. And again, we appreciate you having us on board.
Sounds good. Thanks, Steve.
This is John Barr, General Manager at Finley Toyota. Been thinking about getting a new truck? Now's the time. We got huge incentives on the powerful Toyota Tundra and Tacoma. These trucks are built to handle anything you throw at them. With these deals, they're more affordable than ever. But these offers won't last. Come see us at Finley Toyota before they're gone. We'll make sure you drive off in the truck you've always wanted at the price you deserve. Finley Toyota, Nevada's #1 selling dealership at the Valley Auto Mall in Henderson.
Spring into cash for betting sports on the William Hill mobile app. With the William Hill Cash Rewards program, you can earn up to $500 in cash. Earn Spring Rewards points for mobile wagers made until May 31st. Win or lose, you can earn even more Spring Rewards points for teasers, parlays, and same-game parlays. Sign up for the William Hill mobile app today and opt in to enroll in Spring Rewards. To see participating locations, visit williamhill.us. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
Hey, it's Steve Cofield. This Thursday at 3 o'clock, we are going to tap the kegs of my own handcrafted spring Pilsner while I do my show live from Nevada Brew Works in Boca Park. Nevada Brew Works, craft beer, great food, and good vibes. Come raise a glass with me this Thursday afternoon.
My neighbor used to keep his house nice and tidy. He dressed sharp, too. Now, I don't know, things have been off. The lawn's overgrown. Trash just sits there. He doesn't even comb his hair anymore. Could it be his new friend that's been coming around? He says he's fine, but I'm worried. Maybe I'm overthinking it. Something just doesn't feel right. I can't keep pretending everything's okay. Hi, I'd like to file a report. Trust your instincts. Make the tough call. Report neglect to Adult Protective Services anonymously. Call 888-729-0571 or visit nevada211.org/APS. This message is sponsored by Adult Protective Services, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
Your summer starts now with Memorial Day deals at the Home Depot.
It's time to fire up summer cookouts with the Next Grill 4-burner gas grill on special buy for only $199. And entertain all season with the Hampton Bay West Grove 7-piece outdoor dining set for only $499. This Memorial Day, get low prices guaranteed at the Home Depot. While supplies last, pricing valid May 14th through May 27th. U.S. only, exclusions apply. See homedepot.com/price match for details.
Gambler's bonus hits again. On April 26th, Deborah hit
10 seconds.
Gambler's bonus 4-of-a-kind bingo
All right.
card for over $14,000. Deborah hit big and so can you with Gambler's bonus. It's why you play the game.
It's Cofield and Company on ESPN Las Vegas and ESPN Reno.
All right, moving past the halfway point of Cofield and Company. I don't even know why I'm going to ask this because I know you can do it because you're a voracious eater. You are having, that was lunch earlier, right? That you had at like 2 o'clock?
Yes.
You are going to stick around and have some food?
We'll have a quick little bite, sure.
Okay.
Kalua's hanging out with the homies at the pet resort. So
I always forget about
don't ever
your
don't
man.
ever
Your man.
forget about
The man.
my dog. No,
So-
he's at the pet resort. He's hanging out, so he's good to go. There are times I go to pick him up. He greets me and then he turns around and he tries to go back with Cindy to the back. So he's good to go. No, we'll stick around. Without getting into too much detail, but I cannot try any of the beer, not because I wouldn't. This is a beautiful
Well, you're-
place, but I still have so much crap running through my veins.
Well, you had
from
serious leg
surgery.
injury.
Yeah, I was.
You told me you're not on painkillers, which is nuts.
Yeah, I know. I refuse to get caught up on those. But I was told the other day that, Willie, it's going to be anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks before you get all of the anesthesia out of you. So anyway, I won't, but I will be taking in. I think I got a whiff of some wings as I went to use the restroom.
Huh?
I may be doing the wings. I may be doing some pizza.
What do I pick? The wings or the pizza?
Both.
That's a classic sports big line, and he really did live that life. So my point on, I'm glad you brought up your dog. We're both animal. I'll say I'm an animal liker. You're an animal lover. I have cats. You have a dog. What I saw about 5 days ago on video, and now how it's turned out, is it was horrifying, and now it's glorious. Did you see this guy in Maui who decided to throw like a giant boulder at a monk seal, which I didn't know the seals are endangered in Hawaii?
Yeah.
Well, a bunch of people saw him do it, and they questioned, like, why are you doing this? And he's like, I can do whatever I want. And they're like, oh, is that right? And they beat the snot out of him. Some guy from Washington, Igor Mikhailovich Litvinchuk. Well, now he's been arrested by the feds because this is an endangered animal.
Mhm.
But you think about it. What would go through someone's head to think it was funny to take a giant rock and throw it at a seal? Like
That's not even threatening you.
it was 40, 50 feet away in the water.
Yeah. You and if you look at the picture that was captured, forget the video, just for you looking at it, like he walked out into the water. The seal is going side. It's not like coming at him. And it's not a threat.
It's a seal.
It's a seal.
If it was an alligator, you could a rhino, you could be like, oh, I felt threatened. Like
Yeah.
It's a seal. And this idiot didn't know it was an endangered species, so now he's been arrested. And he also got his ass whooped by a bunch of Hawaiian folks in Maui who were like, what are you doing, jackass?
They probably looked at him what they call it. What are they? A howley.
What is that?
If you go to certain areas
Oh,
on an island,
yeah.
howleys are not welcome.
Kind
Howleys
of
are
an outsider.
howleys are white boys.
Non-native
Oh, white boy.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Did you see that we've got another bear who was all hopped up? We've had Cocaine Bear.
No, cocaine sharks.
I thought we had Cocaine. Well, Cocaine Bear, I think, was a movie.
Oh,
Then the other day I saw there was like it wasn't cocaine, but there was a deer that had eaten a bunch of fermented something and was just like running in circles. That one was whacked and high as hell. Now there's a bear who apparently
that was me in the hospital.
had a two-day sugar coma.
Yikes.
Because it broke into an Arkansas ice cream shop and ate 40 pounds of ice cream. When they walked in, the bear was on the floor. They thought the bear was dead. The freezer was destroyed. Cones were crushed everywhere. But the closed circuit TV showed the bear breaking in overnight and eating its way through more than 40 pounds of ice cream. It got sugar overload and just like knocked out.
Yogi,
Sugar
what
coma.
are you doing? Is it
It's
Yogi?
True Life Yogi. Yes.
Hey, boo boo.
True Life Yogi. So it's been me. I actually, for some reason, I won't say why, but I happened to buy a bunch of gummy candies because I just got on a run and I've got way too many in the house. I'm kind of having that sugar high
You're
each
not
day.
going to get the runs.
Yes. Well, I don't know about those runs. All right, on the way back, let's get into VGK as we're going to hook up with one of the announcers from VGK, Dan Duva, will join us here on Cofield and Company. And then 5 o'clock hour, we got to get into some of the developments around the WNBA. And then the schedule is coming out, so we'll get into the big games around the NFL. My God, the Christmas slate. Man, I was against Christmas, going up against the NBA, but the NFL has nailed it.
There are 6 things that must be exactly perfect for your air conditioner to use less energy and last longer. If even one isn't perfect, your system works harder and wears out quicker.